Whoa, One D&D sure is one hell of a time right now, and it is an exciting time for Dungeons and Dragons. I am super excited. The more I see and talk to you all about this, the more excited that I get, the bigger pictures that I see, even after filming that last video, going through the whole thing, seeing the big picture of the backgrounds and the sample backgrounds and all this stuff. Seeing all you guys' comments, this is all just so exciting. So I wanted to make a quick response video to my last video. There's a lot of stuff that I have learned from this, and apparently languages are a little bit different than I thought. I'm going to talk about Ardlings and Feats and the whole big picture of where my stance is on it, because y'all had some thoughts of me going back and forth on some things, so I'm going to clear that up. But either way, this is an exciting time in the overall response and things people are excited about. And this is just the play test. It's going to get polished off from our feedback and go even to the next level from that. So I'm trying to give feedback here. Wizards of the Coast, that'd be crazy if they watch my stuff and take some of that into consideration. But they're trying to listen to everybody, and even their approach sounds super awesome, where they're like, here's the play test. What do you guys think? I love their approach. It's just, this whole thing is so exciting. So I'm going to get into some of the stuff here from some of the comments. I just went through every single comment. Want to see what you guys thought. Comment in this video, because next week's video, I'm going to talk about those last 2 or 3 pages in the Unearthed Arcana, where it actually talks about rules, the natural 20, natural 1 thing, inspiration, lots of other stuff there. I have a ton of stuff to talk about that with homebrew rules that I already have that are somewhat similar, and overall stances as far as game mechanics and all that kind of stuff go, because I love me some mechanics. You guys know that. So anyway, first thing is Ardlings, right? I was not a big fan of the whole Ardling situation, because in general, I don't see the antithesis, the opposite to tieflings, as Ardlings. I just don't see that. Devils and angels, that's a much, in my headcanon, in my world lore, that would be the opposite of the planes of existence, which I am super familiar with. I'm going to have full-blown things for all the planes of existence. And it turns out D&D also announced yesterday, I went into some more backlog stuff and doing this whole, diving into it after all this excitement. They're in the fall of 2023 are finally releasing Planescape. And I called it. I knew that was coming too. I am so ready for that as well. So there's a lot of stuff here I got to work on, me and my team here for the over here at the Dungeon Coach. So anyway, Ardlings, the opposite side of the planes from the hells with all the demons and stuff, and then the upper planes, I see that as more angel, Aasimar, fallen Aasimar, sure, all that kind of stuff. The Aasimar I see is the opposite. So if it was up to me, I would have Aasimar there in place of these Ardlings, and have Ardlings be a race of animal type creature people, like half hybrid animal creatures. Sure, that I've signed off on that. That's fine. And that's why I don't get the angelic flying situation. Yes, I know there's mythology things, but that's just not, I think that's a weird force of baked in lore from mythology stuff. Like planes of existence, I'm all on board. Greek mythology, animal deity type of things, that doesn't land with me personally, so that's why it just feels a little off to me, and why I'm more sided in my head more towards Aasimar type of situations from the upper planes than I am animal-headed people, right, with fur and feathers and stuff, right? So that's why the flying felt off to me. I totally get it with the whole the animalistic gods type of situation and the spectral wings, and I'm sure they would be different looking and all that kind of stuff, and they'd be more angelic in that way, but I just take the angel and keep it just angel Aasimar done, right? That's more simple for me. So I would, with my Ardlings, I would have them have animalistic traits that match the animal, not necessarily this deity specific stuff. And if you like Ardlings in the way that is presented, keep them, right? But I'm going to be presenting Aasimar with angelic type features in this way, with this updated player character race of an Aasimar. And then I will also keep true to Ardlings, but I'm going to give them more customization options in these resources that I will be coming out with here soon. Which also brings me to another little criticism I got is, well, there's kind of 2 things. One is somebody was talking about how, man, stop plugging your own stuff so much. And honestly, this whole thing is a one-take video because of all the stuff going on in my life right now, but I still want to be able to talk about this, and I'm still so excited about this. But it is exciting to see all of the stuff that I've put years into, and then now I have a team that has been putting time and energy in towards this direction of where that I see D&D going. and it actually Wizards of the Coast is following in that path that we were already going on. That is just so exciting for me. And then another person left a comment about seeing me breathe a sigh of relief whenever realizing Alcanar's Almanac is going to stay relevant into the future with all of this D&D 1 situation, or 1 D&D. Sorry, it's 1 D&D, not the switch of that. But that is all just very exciting. So I'm not trying to just overplug my stuff, but it's just so exciting to see. If you guys like this stuff, then of course you would like all of that. So anyway, I digress there. It's just a very exciting time, and I hope you see the excitement there. So then Feats, right? There was another criticism that I was given of I'm all over the place. I'm saying that I don't like all the feats because new players aren't going to like the feat, and it's just complicated for new players. And then I'm saying that I want to do point buy systems where there's all these infinite options. Whoo! I see how that looks like contradictory, right? Like I'm contradicting myself, but I want it all. Right? Not for me, but for everyone, because this game of Dungeons and Dragons is for everyone, a brand new player and a veteran player. And another thing that I saw in the comments was somebody said, I came to the game and this was fine. And I didn't think the feats were a problem. I agree for myself. I am a huge gamer nerd for years, and my whole life has been spent. So seeing the feats, yes, please. Give me more feats. I'll read them all. But that's not a normal new person. It might be a normal new person because their D&D is more nerd focused and stuff like that. And I call myself a nerd all the time. I love me some nerds. But if you want to extend this out towards people that aren't as familiar with the concept of feats and all these choices and stuff, and they're overwhelmed by choices and all, and there's a big barrier to entry for them in the first place, that type of person's who I'm saying the less choices they have to make to create a character, the better for that person. And another great comment was talking about the solution to that is presented in this of those pre-made backgrounds, which is honestly a great thing. The backgrounds before, I didn't really find them all that useful. The backgrounds in this Unearthed Arcana, super useful because it does everything for you. And they pick your class, pick your race, pick your background. They have a pre-made thing for you. The races are already pre-made and the characters done, right? That is super easy. And I do think that is a great solution. So I want to give even more of those pre-made situations and have more generic pre-made situations, because a lot of those backgrounds, we've seen them for years and they've fully fleshed them out. And I think that is a great solution for the brand new player. And then the new player that's a little bit more, adapt to all the options and choices and excited by those choices. That was me. I wanted to know all the options and choices and pick the best one and all that kind of stuff, right? That person is also taken care of because of the level restriction on these feats. That was one of the first things I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. I see the direction. And then when you take a step back, that direction's even more clear and even more of an awesome idea of taking all the feats in the game, limiting the first level feats to just first level. And if you didn't notice, or if they announce this, but there's no stat bonuses. The ability score increases. There is no +1 of anything in any of those first level feats because they're just first level feats. And then higher level feats, you can have options for +1 to strength or +1 to intelligence and something else cool, right? Which is a great option to gain feats. And hopefully they're sprinkling in feats more often, which any kind of a class overhaul that I've ever done includes that type of stuff, kind of like Warlock Invocations. I mentioned Warlock Invocations in the last video, but I want the full spectrum of the pre-made things for brand new players. Yes, awesome, cool, love it. First level feats and what some of the stuff that I'm going to be trying to pair with this and help these new players is first level feats that are really simple. If you want to do this or that, it's really simple, like a feat for each of the pillars of combat, social encounters, exploration, different first level feats for those. What kind of thing do you want to do good? Oh, well, this is a very, very simple feat for you, nothing too complicated, but I'm interested to see how many first level feats there are. I think they're a great addition to those medium and newer players, and the veteran players, and the one that want all the options. That's great and awesome, cool too. I love this whole leveled feat system. I really do love it. But the whole thing about the contradiction is in my point by feat system, where I have hundreds of options for all these points, I have that there for players who want to do that in the same way I have there for players who don't. In my campaign that I'm running right now on my second channel, Dungeon Coach Plays, I do breakdowns of every single video, every single session that we do there. I have two brand new players, never played before, and 2 players that have played a lot before, and then 1 neutral player in the middle, right? I have the whole spectrum there. Whenever we did the point by feat system, everyone did the point by feat system because it's friendly to all of them. The players who are super experienced, I sent them an email of the point by feat system. They have that whole thing. I even printed it off, showed it to them at the table. There we go. They're loving it. They're crunching it. They're grinding it. Awesome. Great. The other players, I was like, what do you guys want to do? And I used the point by feat system to help give them options. So of the hundreds of options, they start talking about what they want to do, their backstory, what they want to see their character doing, all that stuff. And then I gave them those options and I helped them through me filtering through all those options, almost like a search result bar, to give them limited options to choose from, just like D&D is doing with these first level feats that are limited options for first level characters. Absolutely love it. Next thing, languages. Guys, I was wrong about languages. Ho, ho, ho. Classic American, I guess, here is where that's coming from. So I love learning about stuff like this from you guys. It feels, honestly, I love learning from y'all more than almost anything else, because it's the community, and I feel like we're a part of this community, learning from each other. Hopefully some of the thoughts I have in any of my videos help you guys. And in these comments right now, y'all have opened my eyes to, apparently it's not that crazy to be bilingual or multilingual even. Some statistics that y'all were saying about 50% of the world is bilingual, and a lot of those people are more than just one additional language for a total of 2. So 3 languages, which also, for the record, is the base amount of languages for this, because you'll have common, you'll have something granted by your race, and then you'll have something granted by your background, right? So that's a base 3 languages, which is a lot in my opinion, but my new enlightened opinion from a lot of this, being an American over here, we speak English. That's it. Right. I'm a little bit more enlightened now and better off, so I do thank you guys for that. But I don't think 2 or 3 languages is that crazy anymore. So I really feel like, okay, cool. I was totally wrong on that. I'm going to be able to settle into that and almost reflect into my own world thoughts of all these different fantasy races and people and worlds and nations all coming together. There probably is going to be a little bit of like knowing gnomish, goblin, orcish, all this stuff, elvish, whatever, right? All these different languages. I think that's really honestly beautiful. So I like that. I love that. I appreciate you guys for that. So honestly, I still do have the homebrew, and I still throwing it out there of you have an option, especially when you get a base common, your race language, if you have that thing going on, and then the third option being this background thing. I still am going to give my players the chance of trading in a language for a tool, or trading in a tool for a language to have 4 languages possibly, right? So there's that option there. And then we already talked about Planescape, and then that's the next video. So I'm going to dive into those last couple pages with all of that going on, and it's really exciting stuff there. And I have so much thoughts about the mechanics of the game and where this is going, potential implications, possible things you can add into your game right now, because honestly, we should be play testing this. And the cool part is a lot of the stuff I already am playtesting, because that's already what I do, and that's already what I have been preaching here and love doing. So if you guys want to keep going in this direction that I'm already going on, which is, again, is still an exciting thing in general of where this whole thing's going, then stay tuned for that. Buckle up, check out the description for anything extra that y'all are wanting to check out, and I'll see y'all in next video, which is coming out real soon. I'm diving into it right now. Wow, this is exciting stuff. Stay creative. Think outside the box. Peace.